The toughest life question I face is that of suffering. Close to 10,000 kids under 15 years old will be diagnosed in the United States with cancer this year. Most will survive, but only after medical treatment causes them distress. Why do children have to go through this? As a scientist and Christian, I search many different sources for a satisfying answer, but have trouble finding one. Apparently, I'm not the only one to ask the question, and people perform a lot of somersaults to explain it. However, it seems most of us just want to ignore the issue. Suffering only has a sense of urgency when you're its victim. So why do you have to suffer? Let's look at some answers. Also, I have a guess of my own. Why do people have to suffer? It appears there are two basic answers to the question. Atheists claim it's a random, unfortunate event, while Christians point to the problem of sin. Atheists have an easier task answering the question. Their worldview teaches that you are nothing more than random molecules bouncing around in the universe. Thus, to ask about meaning in a meaningless world makes little sense. The unlucky experiences of life are arbitrary and have no deeper meaning. They don't believe a tornado hit your house because you stole a stapler from work. Suffering is a matter of neural stimulation and awareness. Signals move from your sprained ankle to your brain and you feel pain. This is a good thing because you'll be careful not to sprain your ankle again. You'll live on to perpetuate your DNA. The problem atheists have with that position resides with the concepts of awareness and feeling. It's difficult for them to explain how they emerge from molecules. They might say that the experience of pain is an illusion, but it sure doesn't feel that way when you're in the middle of it. Christians have a much more difficult time with suffering. Two problems present themselves. If God is all-loving, why does He cause you to suffer? And if Jesus paid for sin, why do you still suffer? Jesus said, "It is finished." However, after His death, pain and suffering went on, affecting everyone just as before. Christians say the answer begins with sin. God is not its author, but allowed you, me, and all human beings to choose it. Sin is defined as rebelling against God or breaking His laws. It all began when Adam and Eve broke God's rule concerning the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. They created the original sin by taking a bite of the apple. Putting their will before God's, they executed their me first option. Pain and suffering are the consequences of the original sin and every transgression in history. So Christians answer the first question of an all-loving God by saying that He doesn't cause sin, human beings do. But the question remains why He allows you to choose it. Their answer is because He wants you to have free will. You get to select me first whenever you like. Per the second question, why didn't Jesus' death stop suffering? That question seems to be the hardest of all. Some say that Jesus paid for sin, but not its consequences. However, I'm not sure what that means. Does it mean that payment requires Jesus' suffering plus yours? Was Jesus' sacrifice not enough? I'm not sure that is a satisfactory answer. Possibly it means that His death has delayed benefits. Jesus paid for a suffering-free heaven. Unfortunately, while you're on this earth, pain is still with you. Why the delay? When Adam sinned, the repercussions were instantaneous. You would expect the same immediacy when Jesus gave up His life. Romans 3:15 says, "But the gift is not like the trespass. For if the many died by the trespass of the one man, how much more did God's grace and the gift that came by the grace of the one man, Jesus Christ, overflow to the many?" Could it be that Jesus made only partial payment? Maybe it applied to death and not suffering. However, it makes little sense since we still die, unless death refers to the spiritual and not the physical. It's all a little confusing. To make matters worse, I will add to the mix by throwing out my own idea. Look at my answer through this story. A man sat in heaven and was talking with God. The man was unique because he was created in heaven and had never been to earth. The man asked, "Are you happy you created me?" "Sure," said God, "but sometimes it hurts." Well, in encounters with you think of yourself first. You take the last Oreo, you order pizza with the toppings you want, and sometimes you don't talk to me for 1,000 years while you're off doing your own thing. Yes, you definitely make all my dreams come true. But what do you mean when you say hurt? I don't understand that part of it. You've never felt it, because I absorb it all in heaven. Only those from earth have felt it. They know what it is to feel pain, anger, loneliness, fear, and guilt, and all kinds of sorrow. I took on some there to show I can and will suffer for you. Oh, I did notice that the earthlings do ask you what you like on the pizza. I wondered why they did that. They seem to really appreciate you, and I should appreciate you more too. Maybe you could send me to Earth so I too can experience what it's like not getting the last Oreo. What is your idea about suffering? Why do you believe you suffer? Keep thinking, and I look forward to your feedback. Please leave your comments and questions below or contact me at my email address. Until the next video, remember humility, thanks, and joy.